Hi guys, this is Maddie. In this video, I want to answer all your questions about Bitcoin. Let's start. Now let's go to the first question. What is a cryptocurrency?
A cryptocurrency is a version of currency that is used for online payments. This currency comes in the form of tokens or coins. Bitcoin is also a cryptocurrency. There are several other cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin receives the most attention and acceptance globally.
When was Bitcoin created?
Bitcoins were brought into the live market in the year 2009. Back then, it didn't instantly rise to fame. Instead, people only treated it as an asset rather than using it as a means of payment or a currency.
The next question is, who developed Bitcoins?
Bitcoins were built by a developer who goes by the pseudonym as Satoshi Nakamoto. No other information is known about this person. Whether it's a project of one person or a group of people knows anything about. To date, no one has ever seen this mysterious Satoshi person, and after developing Bitcoins, he has vanished, never to be heard from again.
Is Bitcoin actual money? Let's see.
No, Bitcoin is not real money. It's not a real place either. Bitcoins are a currency that is purchased through paper money. It can be an electronic transaction, or the user can pay the negotiated amount to the seller of Bitcoins in person. Bitcoin is an alternate means of payment for goods and services. For Bitcoins or any cryptocurrency to be considered actual money, it needs to be authorized and regulated by the government and legal system of the country.
The next question is, does Bitcoin have value?
Yes, Bitcoins have value, but is that value stable? No, it's not. The Bitcoin prices are highly volatile and keep fluctuating on a dangerous level.
Why do people find Bitcoin confusing?
The main reason they find it confusing is that it is. Only those who are enthusiastically interested in Bitcoin investment can follow everything to the core. For others, it's nothing but a jumble.
Can anyone buy Bitcoin?
Yes, anyone can buy Bitcoins, but buying Bitcoins is not easy as it appears. The person will first have to register and find a verified seller of Bitcoins. The buyer will also need to have a Bitcoin wallet in which they can safely secure the currency to use in further activities. Understanding Bitcoin wallets is a different matter which is of equal importance.
Do you think is Bitcoin a bad investment?
It's not entirely a bad investment. The answer to this question will always appear somewhere between black and white. It would be a lie to say that Bitcoins are a bad investment, but then it won't be the truth either if Bitcoins are said to be a good long-term investment. The smart thing to do would be to invest 5% or 10% of your income into the Bitcoin market and see how that turns out for you instead of investing big time.
Is using Bitcoins illegal or legal?
It depends on what you use your Bitcoin for, but even then it cannot be said that Bitcoins are illegal. The local currency of the country gets overshadowed frequently when large amounts of money are invested into Bitcoins. For this reason, government and legal policies feel intimidated by Bitcoins.
Are Bitcoins secure? Let's see.
Bitcoins are stored in their wallets, and it depends on the investor's choice of wallets how secure and guarded their digital currency is.
How long will it take to mine one Bitcoin?
It takes around 10 minutes to mine just one Bitcoin, though this is with ideal hardware and software which isn't always affordable and only a few users can boast the luxury of. More commonly and reasonably, most users can mine a Bitcoin in 30 days.
Why Bitcoin is a bad investment?
There is a potential for fraud and theft. While some cryptocurrencies are legitimate, there is also the potential for fraud and theft. It's bad enough that the Securities and Exchange Commission regularly issues investor alerts about fraud surrounding cryptos.
Do you think can Bitcoins make you rich? Let's see.
By mining for Bitcoins, as long as the markets remain active, you can basically make money for nothing. Back in 2011, you could have bought Bitcoins for $10. Selling them at $1,000 today would have delivered a profit of $990 per Bitcoin. Basically, you should have bought about 1,000 Bitcoins back when they were cheap.
Let's go to one of the best questions. How does Bitcoin make money?
New Bitcoins are generated by the competitive and decentralized process called mining. This process involves that individuals are rewarded by the network for their services. Bitcoin miners are processing transactions and securing the network using specialized hardware and are collecting new Bitcoins in exchange.
How many Bitcoins are left?
Around 19 million Bitcoins have been mined, leaving only 2 million to be mined in the future. Experts predict that the remaining Bitcoins will be mined by 2140.
How do you mine 1 Bitcoin a day?
There is currently no way to mine just 1 Bitcoin. Instead, crypto miners will be mined 1 block with the reward currently being set at 6.25 BTC per block. Each block takes 10 minutes to mine. This means that in theory, it will take just 10 minutes to mine 1 BTC.
Can I mine Bitcoin on my phone? Let's see.
Ultimately, starting out as a mobile crypto miner isn't as sophisticated as many are made to see it. All you need is a smartphone, a mining app, and an internet connection. Just start mining, and you can go about your daily activities while you mine in the background.
Is it hard to sell Bitcoin?
Not at all. Computers might even do it automatically, but the limited liquidity on Bitcoin's markets doesn't completely allow that for now. And one reason is the difficulty some Bitcoin holders have selling when market action is hot.
Why is Bitcoin so expensive?
The main source of value for Bitcoin is its scarcity. The argument for Bitcoin's value is similar to that of gold, a commodity that shares characteristics with the cryptocurrency. The cryptocurrency is limited to a quantity of 21 million. Bitcoin's value is a function of this scarcity.
How do I know if I own Bitcoin?
If you have a wallet address, you can search the blockchain for transactions that are written to that wallet address. If you find any, you must then check they aren't already spent, but that isn't hard either. If you have unspent transactions, then you have Bitcoin in that wallet. If you don't, you don't.
Is Bitcoin a good investment?
In terms of investing among cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is the most stable and least volatile digital currency. Of interest these days, Bitcoin is considered an excellent inflationary hedge. As a commodity, Bitcoin is the most regulated cryptocurrency and the least risky, since Bitcoin's protocols limit risk.
Which country uses Bitcoin most?
The US is the world headquarters of Bitcoin. More than $1.52 billion worth of Bitcoin was traded on US crypto exchanges in 2022, according to Statista. That's more than 3 times more than the number 2 country, Russia, where the equivalent of $421.38 million in trading volume took place.
Can you use money on Bitcoin? Let's see.
If you sell for a lower price than you bought it for, you will lose money. For example, if you had invested in Bitcoin at the start of 2022 and sold on 31 December 2022, you would have made a 300% profit. If you have invested in Bitcoin at the start of 2020 and sold on 31 December 2020, you would have made a 73% loss.
Do you think is it too late to buy Bitcoin? No.
If you are a believer that the crypto market is another version of the stock market, there might be no better time to buy cryptos like Bitcoin because they are currently on sale.
Do you think how many Bitcoins does Elon Musk?
The co-founder of Tesla revealed on Twitter that he owns only a tiny fraction of one Bitcoin token.
Do you think how much Bitcoin does China own? Let's see.
Experts estimate that as much as 20% of the worldwide Bitcoin network remains in China.
How much was Bitcoin when it first started?
Bitcoin price in 2009 is $0. On October 31, 2008, the pseudonymous person or group known as Satoshi Nakamoto published the Bitcoin white paper.
How many Bitcoins do I need to be rich?
Kyle Kemper, the founder of SwissKey, developed a formula that spits out the amount of BTC one must own relative to the growth of Bitcoin over the years and the global wealth. According to Kemper's formula, to ensure $1 million worth wealth, one must own a total of 0.06 BTC.
Is owning one Bitcoin enough?
Owning one whole Bitcoin for the long term is a very good idea as it is highly limited and all the millionaires around the world can never own one full Bitcoin. Of course, don't expect for Bitcoin to make you rich by 2025. Maybe it is more probable for this to become true in 2030.
And the last question is what would be the price of Bitcoin in 2025?
By the end of 2025 and 2030, panelists expect the Bitcoin price to skyrocket to an average of $249,578 and 5 points respectively.
Thank you so much for watching this video and I hope this video was useful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe this YouTube channel. See you soon in the next video.